What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Dat Talk Podcast. I go by the name of Bacon. I got my co-host with me.
Hey man, it's play-in basketball? Not playoff just yet. Play-in.
Yo, I thought you were gonna say play-in reasons, but you didn't.
Nah. But hey, before we even get started, it's a lot of male beef going on in these basketball streets, man. Kwame Brown and Stacks and Matt Barnes and No Chill Gill. This is just a lot. It's a lot, man. They throwing real shots. These ain't, usually when people beef, it be subtle shots. Like, little, you got to fill in.
Yeah.
But they throw it on Kwame. I feel like he throwing shots. He called Matt Barnes Becky with the good hair.
Mm.
Yeah, he said Matt Barnes need to give Derek Fisher gas money to go pick up his kids. He don't know if Derek Fisher's the dad, coach, or mentor. I was like, whoa.
Mm.
He said he had slapped Stephen A. Smith in the back of his head. Kwame also says Stacks needs to stop acting like a fake gangster because he ain't really that tough.
Mm.
It's crazy. And then Matt Barnes told Kwame, like, don't be mad at me because you got picked one and you couldn't live up to expectations, basically.
Mm. Yeah, man. I don't get caught up in the black on black drama, man. It's tough when you belittling and trying to demean and bring somebody down. I don't know what they're going through. I'm praying for all the brothers, because we don't need that would fuse the fire for other people to be like, look at these people. They don't even like each other, And again, everybody has their own issues and their own conflicts, but again, ours is always under a microscope. Everything we do is always under a microscope. So it's damn near you're damn if you do, damn if you don't, and they always want to try to put us up against each other. That's just how it is. And so I hope they can find a middle ground. And even if they're not going to be cool, like, look, man, don't get on social media. Like, come on, dog. These are grown men.
That's kind of what my thing is, because I haven't watched the episode, but I guess it stemmed from a conversation when Gilbert Arenas was on All the Smoke. So from that conversation, Kwame Brown kind of took exception to what was being said about him. Stacks kind of went online and tried to basically say, like, it ain't that, you feel me? We ain't, Stacks tried to go in there and diffuse it, but Kwame ain't been in a diffusing mode. He's been all go gas mode, and and it's just a very interesting thing, just because people have been kind of right, like, people been coming for Kwame for years. It ain't no secret to, him not necessarily living up to the full expectations of being the number one draft pick. And there's been a lot of players that ain't lived up to those expectations. And, now that Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson are more in the media side of the world, now it's more like they can go back and critique as media members. So, I feel like, I don't think Kwame is handling this the best way, just because, I think, these are your actual peers that you actually played against, so, don't be social media guy. I feel like you hit them up, had that conversation with them in private, and it moves on. But now it's in the social media world, and now I feel like you stirring up more of this when he's articulating and saying, like, look, it's, we need to be concerned about other stuff, but we sitting there fighting each other. It's like, nah, bro, you giving fuel to the fire. You feel me? So
again, man, hope them brothers can figure it out. But today we talking about the play-in. It's not the playoff. So the special episode is going to be this weekend. It's going to be dope. We're going to be talking about the playoffs, who's in, who's not, who's got a chance to go to the chip, and give our predictions, our playoff close to final predictions, man. But today we have the Celtics versus the Wizards. Sorry about that, and then we got the Hornets versus the Pacers today. And then tomorrow is the Western Conference play-in, the Lakers versus the Warriors, and the Spurs versus Memphis Grizzlies. So let's focus on today's game, since today's game is about to happen in less than a few hours. How do you feel about the Washington Wizards and the Boston Celtics?
This is a real tough one because Boston's without Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't know the hammy situation when it comes to Brad Beal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, Russ can be in carrying mode, but Boston's are still a good team. It's just, I don't know how good they are without, Jaylen Brown in this situation and then with Beal's health. So I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go Celtics. I think personally, I will want the Wizards to win because that Brooklyn-Washington first-round series will be fireworks. But I think the Celtics will get it done, and then we'll get a Celtics-Brooklyn first round. And then I got the Hornets beating the Pacers because Caris LeVert is out due to COVID protocols. And so then from there, it'll be Hornets-Wizards. I'm going to go Hornets. I'm going to go Wizards to beat the Hornets, get the 8 seed. And then we get Sixers, Wizards first round.
Got you. I feel like I think that, with the Wizards in Boston, I think it's going to be a good game. I just don't know what Boston you're going to get. Boston's been up and down so much. They've been infected by injuries. They're losing faith in their coach. It's been a lot of stuff going on in that locker room. It's rough. Yeah. I think this is probably going to be Brad Stevens' last season with Boston for sure. In my opinion, I don't know, but I think this may be the end of the road. I think his run or his tenure is getting to the end. I just feel that way, and it's nothing against him. It's not like he's a bad coach. It kind of just didn't work out the way he wanted to work out. He got Kyrie that year. Things didn't work out like that. They thought they was going to do well. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They lost to LeBron. And then ever since then, they just been going in a trickle effect. They just been something happened here, something happened there. They end up losing here, losing there. And just a lot of stuff. They thought that they was going to go because they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, right? They played against Miami.
Was that the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, because who Miami played for the Eastern Conference Finals? Because Miami beat
Toronto.
Did they play Toronto?
Yeah.
They played Toronto?
Because didn't Boston and no, they did. I think they played Boston.
They played Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they lost again in the Eastern Conference Finals to Miami. And so they haven't got over that hump, and they haven't been to the finals in a while since the Big Three. It's been the last time they've been to the finals. And so I think the Wizards, even with Bradley Beal injury, I think the way Russ has been playing, man, put some respect on his name. I feel like Russ been doing his thing, and I think they're going to steal a game tonight. I think they're going to steal a game in Boston. They're going to win that game, and then Boston is going to play the Hornets. And I think Boston – I'm going to go with an upset. I'm going to say Boston don't make the playoffs. Lose to the Hornets. That's what I don't want to be. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say LaMelo Ball gets to the playoffs his first season as a rookie and plays the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round playoffs for the East. And then for the West, how do you feel about the Lakers and the Warriors, man?
I feel great. They no worries. LeBron's not losing this playing game.
Okay.
I feel like he understands the magnitude of this moment, and it'd be better off for the Lakers to be the 7th seed instead of the 8th seed. That's what I just think that. I feel like the Warriors, you got Steph Curry in a one-game situation. He can just go lights out, but also it's like, I feel like LeBron and AD understand the magnitude. The Lakers understand the magnitude, and they just gonna have to do what they need to do to get this W. And then they set up a game where they play the Suns on Sunday. Then I got the Warriors winning and getting in, so then it'll be the Warriors Jazz in the first round. So I just got the Warriors losing to us, but then beating either Memphis or San Antonio to get the spot.
Now, everything in my bones is telling me the Lakers should win tomorrow.
They're gonna win. They should.
I'm just calling a spade a spade. Everything in my body is telling me they should win, but I've seen the Lakers play down to their competition time and time again at times. And usually, if we're going based off even last year in the playoffs, when it matters the most, and of course, LeBron usually prevails. He don't lose a series, but this is not a series. This is one game. And the Lakers have been proven to lose the first game of damn near every series that they started. It happened last year. They lost damn near every game except for the Nuggets, right? I believe they beat the Nuggets.
Nuggets and the Heat.
The Nuggets and the Heat.
They won game one of those series.
Yes, but when they just starting out, they usually lose the game. And playing Steph Curry the way he's playing right now is the last team you want to face because the Warriors are catching fire. I'm not saying they catching fire where they about to go on a long run, but they're catching fire where they can give somebody some trouble. Hold on, man. Hold on. And I think the Lakers will win, but it's going to be a damn close game. I think it's going to be defined in the last 4 minutes of the game. I think it's going to be a real close game because one thing you can't teach and that the Warriors have right now is confidence. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now. They are shooting the ball with a lot of confidence right now. You got role players and you like, man, what? Putting up 30, 40 points with confidence, dropping buckets out there with confidence. And I know everybody's looking at the Lakers. Oh, you're going to win. I'm telling you, it just don't seem right, especially when it comes to betting. I can see an upset happening. I'm just not going to say LeBron's going to get upset by the Warriors, but I'm going to also say this. I won't be surprised if the Lakers fumble the bag. I'm not going to hold you. I won't be surprised if they fumbled the bag, but I'm going Lakers in a close one against the Warriors. And for the Spurs in Memphis, it's funny how the Spurs always find a way to get in the playoffs. I just don't understand. Pop finds a way to get in the playoff. I don't know how he does it. You don't never be talking about the Spurs, but you always know they got a chance to get in that mug all the time. They always in contentions, bro. Even last year, even though they didn't make it, they was in contentions to get in that thing. And this time they're in contentions again. And so I think Memphis should beat the Spurs. I really do. I think Memphis will beat the Spurs. That game can go left or right, but I wouldn't be surprised because John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies have this tendencies to go in slumps where they can't score. They just can't get points on the board, and they can lose games that you think they should have won. I've seen it time and time again throughout this season. So I think Memphis will win, and then this is the game. The Warriors versus the Grizzlies. This is a big one right here.
This game just happened on Sunday.
It just happened, and Curry just went for 46. And I know the Memphis Grizzlies want to get some get back. They want that get back. They want that get back. I think if Memphis, if they play the Warriors, all right, I think Memphis beat the Warriors this time around. I think they.
So if the Warriors don't win against the Lakers, they're not getting in.
Yes, that's what I'm.
Celtics and the Warriors out.
I got the Warriors and the Celtics out. I think Memphis is going to play double team Curry. Don't let Curry score points and make everybody else beat them. They're going to make Poole. They're going to make Draymond. They're going to make Wiggins. They're going to make Oubre. They're going to make all those players beat them. They're going to and we've seen that when Curry struggles. They struggle. So don't let Curry get hot, then you can win the game. And that's what I think they're going to go with. I think they're going to beat the Warriors in a very, very close game because they want to get that get back. They want to get that get back. And I think John Morant and them want to have that get back to be able to make the playoffs yet again for back-to-back seasons, man.
To your Warrior hot point, quiet is kept. The Lakers are 6-2. In their last 8 games and currently on a 5-game win streak. Just wanted to put that out there with some wins over credible opponents without LeBron. So I feel like the Lakers are starting to get into that championship mode because they're playing high-level defense. I mean, they have their moments where they slack off, but, you know, you got to think about it. Anthony Davis missed 30-some-odd games. LeBron missed 20-some-odd games. And the Lakers are still number one in defensive efficiency. So I'm not too worried because I know how high-powered Steph is, but I ain't got no words. They going to have to figure out how to stop LeBron. And I think LeBron, I watched him over this weekend. He looks healthy. He had the little minor tweak on Sunday, but he said he's fine. At about 3 days, he went about 3 days to rest, a couple of days to rest, 3 days including the game to get his body right. And I think the Lakers going to be fine because as long as they win Wednesday, they don't have to play again this Sunday. That's more rest.
Yeah, I
think that'd be very beneficial. And then they get the Suns, which means they don't even have to travel that far. They only got to go to Arizona. So that's cool too. You know, they don't have the, no long trip, even though not too many long trips in the West Coast anyway, but going over to Arizona. And that's just kind of how I see things going. Now, for your Memphis and Warriors thing, Steph has to win for career purposes wise, because it's one thing to carry, but if you carry and ain't nobody in the playoffs, that carrying means nothing. You feel me? The year that Kobe led the league in scoring, the Lakers missed the playoffs. Just what it was. One of the few years when Michael Jordan led the league in scoring, the Bulls, no, they never missed the playoffs. He just never won. Yeah. So leading the league in scoring is cool, but you got to be in the dance. You got to get your team to the dance. And yeah, the play-in changed because currently right now he would be in the playoffs, but things changed. Things evolved, and now you in the play-in situation. And so if he doesn't losing to the Lakers is not bad. It's like you lost to LeBron and the Lakers. Cool. But losing to Memphis, we got to look at Steph Curry a little different because you can't lose that game. You just can't. And because when James Harden was a solo act, was really nobody, got that team to the playoffs. Russell Westbrook was a solo act with really nobody, got that team to the playoffs. Damian Lillard has been carrying the Portland Trailblazers. As much as credit I give CJ McCollum, you take Damian Lillard off that team, the Portland Trailblazers are the Houston Rockets, the now Houston Rockets, which is CJ. So, he's carrying, and that's what's needed. And I need to see Curry carry the Warriors into the playoffs. And then once you win, then you good because you made it to the dance. You took a team that when you look at that team, you like, can he do it? Can he do it? And he did it. So then that respect of how great because you don't knock how great he is because you'll be foolish to say Curry's not a great player and all this and all that. So you don't knock that. But you also understand that how great he is, now you have to see the elevation of how great Clay is. Mm-hmm. Then you have to see the elevation of how great KD is and how great Iguodala, how great that team was to make him look even more special than Woody. They look even more special. And so that's what I'm looking at, and that's what I'm coming to when it comes to Curry. So he can't lose, bro. Like I understand your upset and the get back, but that's not. I feel like that becomes a damper. That becomes a damper.
But it's hard to beat a team twice, though, and I think that's one thing you got to understand too is that when Curry is neutralized, the Warriors lose, and so if he has a horrible game. And depending on the others, is what gets the Warriors in trouble because they don't have the others. The others rarely step up. Draymond does his part, and he always does his part. But I'm saying if Curry is not going, it's going to be tough. And I think even with the Lakers, I think what they're going to try to utilize, if the Lakers are able to beat them and they're able to beat them handily, they're going to try to utilize what the Lakers did to neutralize Curry. But you gotta have, the
The Lakers are going to use. See, the Lakers are in a fortunate situation because you can put bigger bodies on Curry. You can use KCP. You can use Wes Matthews to chase Curry around a bigger body because Wiggins and Oubre and them, they don't fear you. Like they don't really put. So you're not using technically your best wing defender on him. Plus, whatever double teams that may come and all that kind of stuff. Memphis only wing defender they really got is Dylan Brooks. He's the only one that has more size. But you also asking Dylan Brooks to be the third scorer or to get buckets. You feel me? Where the Lakers, you asking KCP and Wes Matthews to score, but you're not really asking them to go score. So it's more difficult when one of your best wing defenders is also one of the guys you need to get buckets. You feel me? So that's why I feel like Memphis trying to mimic the Lakers game plan is not going to work as effective because it's still at the end of the day, the Lakers put Schroeder on Curry. And still kind of give him, and Schroeder going to make Curry have to work and play defense too in some capacity if they go that route. So, that's why he was able to go for 44 because remember Curry started off slow in that game.
Yeah.
He didn't come out the blocks, Curry. He started just revving it up.
That's what I mean. But what happens is that the others were stepping it up too. So then when he revved it up, it was damn near you can't beat them. You get what I'm saying? You got to take away something from the Warriors. You can't.
I think to your point, if Curry start revving it up, you let Curry cook, and then nobody else is scoring.
Right.
You can't let him cook, and and then let him get everybody involved while he cooking. Because now he cooking. Now you trying to see double teams and all that kind of stuff. I feel like once he get to cooking, you stay singled up and ain't no help coming from nowhere else. Right. The rest of y'all not gonna cook. You feel me? Or you trying to take him away with the double teams, kind of what you alluded to.
Yeah.
And then you let the others prove that they can beat you. But a guy like a Curry, a James Harden, a Russ, guys that can carry a Damian Lillard, you can't let them get cooking and keep everybody involved. Because it's a long day, champ.
It will be a long day for Lakers and a long day for Memphis as well if they're able to get everybody going. Because the Warriors got some shooters. When they feeling confident, they jump that thing up and they go crazy. And I'm telling you, I really believe that the Warriors is going to be a force to be reckoned with when Klay come back. Even if he's not the same defender he is, his ability to shoot the basketball is what makes them so dangerous. I know people always say he's a two-way player. I get it, but his defense is great. But what scares people is not necessarily his defense, it's his shooting ability because they know he got a clip. And now you got to watch out for two of them. And so 2 lethal shooters on one team is crazy. And what the Warriors are doing is they're building those other players up to be lethal shooters as well, to be able to hit and then they can go back to their old Warrior style, ball movement, get to the right man, and that man gonna hurt you. Get to the right man, and then that man gonna hurt you. You like, man, how you gonna beat this damn team? How you gonna beat them? How you gonna beat them? But anyway, before we get up out of here, we got to talk about this. Everybody's been saying it. I don't think they did it, but everybody's been saying they did this. Okay, it's very interesting that they didn't play their superstars in the last 2 games. And we'll talk about this for the playoff special about the Clippers supposedly tanking.
Oh, no. Tanking is
not tanking, but
ducking. Let's call it what it is. They was ducking and running from the possible smoke. Let's call it what it is, man. They went, listen, think about it. Let's time out. Right. So they lose to the Knicks that Sunday. People like, damn, that was a good game. Then now it's like the Lakers play the Knicks. Lakers beat the Knicks without LeBron. Then you fast forward it, they end up beating the Hornets that week. And then we get to the end of the season. Now, Clippers and the Nuggets I think they were tied or close to being tied or something like that, but the Nuggets held. Yeah, but the Nuggets held the head-to-head, right? And when you looking at the seeding, all it would take is the Lakers to, the Blazers to lose and Lakers to win. The Lakers get into that 6th seed, like Clippers be the 3 seed. And
but they were going to play them regardless, though.
Yeah, see, but
the for the 6th seed.
Yeah.
3 and 6.
So I just felt like the Clippers saw that it was possible that the Lakers can get 6 and they want the smoke.
Could it be? Now let's say it.
But how do you know? Hold up. Because how do you lose to 2 teams who are trying to lose? Because the Rockets
in OKC.
You see what I mean? Yeah, because the Rockets, they had basically secured their increased chances of lottery number 1. And then the Thunder, you feel me, by winning has hurt their chances of increasing their chances for a lottery pick. And we all know the Thunder got a million gazillion picks, but a number 1 pick really helps out. You feel me?
Right.
And you lose to the bottom 2 teams on the West heading into the playoffs. The Clippers to me aren't good enough to sit there and play with the light switch. They're not good enough. We saw that last year. Everybody walking around like they Kawhi. They got 2 champions on that team. And 3 if you include, they got Ibaka in there. But Kawhi.
Rondo.
Yeah, but Kawhi and Rondo are the 2 people who really carry championships. Ibaka was a part of you know what I mean? He was a part of the ship. He didn't really carry. Rondo with the Celtics was a force. Last year with the Lakers was a force. You feel me? The rest of y'all ain't proved to me that y'all can just turn it on. And so wait, you avoided the smoke with the Lakers to get Dallas in the first round? Like, Dallas is just a pushover? Come on, man. I can't wait for Saturday.
Here's my thing. Okay, hold on. Even if they ducked the smoke, all right, they took an easier route, in my opinion. Because you got to think about it. They would have played Portland, which is not an easy series at all, right? And then they was going to play the Lakers if they got – I'm not even going to say the Lakers is an automatic lie, but let's just say the Lakers beat Phoenix and they played Portland and the Clippers beat Portland, and then you got to play the Lakers right after that. That's a tougher tier. That's pretty much the Western Conference Finals at the end of the day, right? But what I think the Clippers did was like, you know what? It could be a reverse of psychology. Everybody let's just think about it.
Yeah, I'm here to listen, bro.
Everybody think that we ducking the smoke, but actually we taking a little bit of easier road. So when we get to the Lakers, they played against Portland possibly and the Phoenix Suns, and now we got them for the taking because they should beat the Dallas Mavericks. I'm just gonna call it space. They should beat Dallas. They're going to
beat Dallas.
Yes, I think they're going to beat Dallas in 5 for sure. And we'll talk about that this weekend. And then Utah, I think Utah, they'll beat Utah in 6, in my opinion. And then they're going to get to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in years. And then they play either the Lakers or
first time ever.
First time ever. First time ever in franchise history or whatever the case may be. And then we'll get the Lakers maybe that's what the league wants. The Lakers and the Clippers for the Western Conference Finals to go to the NBA Finals. That's probably what the league wants.
Yeah, league-wise, money-wise, it makes sense. But let me ask you this as a basketball guy.
I'm listening.
If you the Clippers, would you rather play a hobbled, still trying to figure it out Lakers, or kind of the well-oiled machine Lakers by the time you get to the Western Conference Finals? Because that's where, to me, if I'm the Clippers, I want the Lakers now because I got the firepower to really get the Lakers problems. I want them as soon as possible, so then the rest of my road is already easy. To get the Lakers after they already start to ramp it up, you feel me? I don't think that's a wise decision.
They wasn't going to get the Lakers first. They was going to get the Lakers second because they're going to. They was going to get Portland. Now they could have been dodging the Portland smoke. instead of the Lakers smoke.
But out of everybody, I think they swept Portland this year in the series.
And they swept the Lakers too in the series.
They only played the Lakers twice though. They played Portland 3 times.
Okay, but they didn't lose to the Lakers at all this year. For the first time ever in franchise.
Yeah, man, but both of those, I mean, the game one now was like whatever. And then the second time, like it had no goddamn body.
I'm just calling a spade a spade. Now, again, they beat Portland without them being where they are now. Portland is a dangerous team. And they're going to be a dangerous team. And I think Portland's going to beat Denver for sure. And I think Portland's going to play the winner out of the Suns and possibly the Lakers. And that series is going to be tough for the Lakers. I don't care what you say. That's going to be a tough series because Damian Lillard is healthy. And we knew when Damian Lillard was healthy last year, he gave y'all a little bit of problems. And then he got hurt. And it wasn't no hope in hell for them winning that series at all. No hope in hell. And so now Dame is going to be healthy. So I think that series is going to be a tough one for y'all. And then y'all got to come back and possibly play the Clippers for the Western Conference. Y'all got a tough road. And if y'all get to the final,
because we get the Suns out of here in 5, and we're gonna get Portland out of here in 5 too, and then we'll be sitting there waiting on the Clippers finish a 7-game series with
we'll see. We will see, and we'll talk about that this Saturday. But y'all let us know before we get about it what you got to say for the play-ins or about the special this Saturday, man.
Man, I'm just looking forward to some good basketball. I probably won't be able to catch the first game because I'll be coaching, so I won't get to see what I want to watch. But I'll be tapped in, looking at my phone and all that kind of good stuff. I'm just looking forward to some good basketball, man. I'm looking forward to a lot of people. I talked to my pops. He really don't like to play it because he felt like it's like bogus, and somebody got to why you got to play teams that's technically out the playoffs. And I told my pops, man, I'm like, well, you won't have that problem if you'd have made it to a top 6 seed. You don't want to have to be able to play in, win more games.
But I get both sides. It's good.
Yeah, no, I understand both sides. I just like it because I think to me is putting emphasis on regular season mattering and those games somewhat counting, especially like when you playing head-to-head games, like winning, like see the Blazers benefited from beating the Lakers 2-1. You feel me? The Mavericks benefited from winning their division. So there become benefits to when we playing versus it's like, all right, it is what it is. You feel me? Because in a normal sense, the Blazers don't necessarily like it don't matter because you don't want to avoid the play in. Because in a normal sense, if you fall to 7, then you fall to 7 versus if you 6. Like, and maybe you trying to avoid a matchup or get to a certain matchup.
Right.
And so I think with this, it just makes everybody have to play, especially the teams that's like 10, 11, and 12, where in a normal sense, we see a lot of quote unquote tanking from them teams because they ain't got no hope. Now you saw the Pelicans still playing hard, the Kings still playing hard, the Spurs still playing hard because there was some kind of hope, and then we avoid the possible tanking stuff. So to me, that's what I get from it, that the league is trying to put emphasis on making a regular season. These games matter. And I think that's why I think the play is a good idea, personally.
Like I said, I get both sides. My thing is that I like last year is when you was within a certain frame of games. I think that was better. Like battle.
It's the same thing because
think about it, bro. You got the Lakers got 39 wins, and you got the Spurs who got damn near 31, 32.
No, the Spurs got 37.
They ain't got 37.
Bro.
They're like when you look at it, look before we get by.
Spurs got 33.
And the Lakers got 39 or 42 games. So you give a team that's not even close, like they're close to Memphis. I get that. And Memphis is close to I get the plan for the 8th seed. I get that because that's how it was last year. You had them play for the 8th seed, and then they went out.
So you know what? When I look at it like this, I feel like the Spurs shouldn't be included, and you keep the Warriors, Lakers, and Memphis in. So Memphis is, to me, you still have those three teams play for 7 and 8.
Right. So then it'll be beneficial for the Lakers to have a bye, and they play the winner out of 7 and 8. I mean, 8 and 9, and then 8 and 9 would determine who gets in. I that's how I feel like the play-in.
Yeah, so to your point, I see it like this: 8 and 9 would play, right?
Yeah.
To play the Lakers for 7.
Right.
The winner of that gets 7, and then the loser plays whoever lost the first time again.
No, I don't think that. I think the winner out of the 8 and 9, they battle to play the Lakers, and then whoever
the winner of that becomes 7-8.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, I like that better.
Like 3 games, you're just playing 2 games. All right, you playing for the person that's 9, they got 1 chance. Now, if they beat you, then the 8 seed is done at the end because it's so close. I can understand that they're close. I think they should fix it where it's not 10 teams. I get what you're trying to do, but I think if it's not close like that, like
I agree.
Like,
I agree with you, bro. You are looking at it
games ahead.
Yeah, looking at it, you are 100% correct. Looking at it, I feel like Warriors and Memphis should play for the 8 spot, basically.
Right.
The winner of that plays the Lakers for 7-8. The winner of that gets 7. The loser gets 8, and then we
start the playoffs.
We get it cracking.
There you go. That's cool. You got
in the East. In the East, it works. When you look at the East, they were within 3 games of one another. So I think the East will work with 4 teams because it's not a huge gap between 7 and 10.
Yeah. I think that's how it should be if there's a gap. If there's a gap, then they need to adjust that a little bit.
So the gap should be based on what you're saying, the gap should be based on from 7 to 10. What is that gap? If that's a big gap, then 10 should be out and we play 7, 8, 9. But if 10 is close, like how it is in the East, then you keep the 14 play. 14.
But I get what they're doing because when you think about it, and we'll get up out of here, is that Memphis is 5 games away from the Spurs, but Golden State is 3 games away from the Lakers. You get what I'm saying? So that's why they got 7 and 8, and then that's why they got 8 and 9. So that makes sense. So I get
9 makes sense. 10 don't, like now I'm looking at it.
But no sense. 10 only makes sense because of 8, 9. You get what I'm saying? Think about it. Because 9 is 5 games. So it should be, because last year, I think it was like 5 games. You got to be within 4 to 5 games within that to get playing the tournament thing, right?
Yeah, you got to be 5. Yeah. See, but that's why I feel like your theory just makes more sense because they are within 5 games of 9, but they are 9 games away from 7. You feel me? So that's why I agree with your theory and how you present it just makes more sense because they're not even above 500 in this situation when the other teams are. So I think you need to, I believe they need to come listen to us and tweak it just like that because I don't think the Spurs should be in it just based on what I'm looking at because they 5 games back of just even Memphis. 5 whole games. Like, that's a lot of games, bro.
That's a lot of games. So that's why I'm saying I feel like they got to tweak it where if you're in within 4 games, then it can be a possible between a 10 seed. So it'll be 2 9s pretty much. It's just 10 per se. It won't necessarily be a 10 seed. It'll be like, you're within 4 games between 8 seeds. So those we could talk.
I think it should be you have to be within 3 games of whatever the seeds are heading.
Right.
So right now, the Warriors are within 3 games of the Lakers. Memphis is within 1 game of
the Warriors.
The Spurs are not within 3 games of
so
Memphis.
They don't get to go in.
I think they should do it like that.
Teams that can go, but the only way you get there is you got to be 3 games within 7.
Who's ever in front of you? Not yet.
Yeah, that'll be good. But anyway, man, hey, we got the special this weekend. Be on the lookout for that. It's going to be fun. Playoffs are starting. We can talk a bunch of stuff there, but we got the play-ins tonight. So we're going to get this video up before the play-ins start. Be sure to tune in on Thursday as well, where we talk about some football. And always remember to stay blessed, stay safe, take care of yourself out there, man. Health is wealth. And talk that talk. We see y'all on Thursday. Deuces.